Hello everyone. Right here is a rare and relatively unknown fire alarm control panel. This is a Fire-Lite Miniscan 4824 fire alarm control panel. These were first produced in the late 1980s and were designed for smaller facilities. It is one of the first Fire-Lite panels to support adjustable initiating devices, although this panel also supports conventional zones. At its core, the Miniscan 4824 is a modified Ademco Vector 3000 series panel. Its design and programming structure can be seen in many modern Ademco products like the Vista series. The Miniscan 4824 supports up to 8 conventional zones and 88 adjustable devices, using Ademco's addressable protocol, nowadays referred to as VPlex. For the demonstration, we have a BGID adjustable pull station, a CPID adjustable ionization smoke detector, and a BRK 2824 conventional photoelectric smoke detector. It's 4-wire and its alarm contacts are connected to the RIZ1 remote initiating zone module. There's also a RIZ1 module behind the BGID pull station. For the notification appliance, we have a Fire-Lite STH7224 horn strobe, which is a rebranded Wheelock 7002. The bell circuits are coded to continuous, so here we go. Alarms are silenced. The keypad display shows 9, which is the address for the BGID pull station. On the Miniscan 4800 series, the valid addresses for adjustable devices range from 9 to 96. The first 8 addresses are for the conventional zones. Now let's activate the CPID. Now there's an alarm on address 10, which is the CPID. Unlike a lot of adjustable systems, the LED does not latch on alarm. The LED is controlled by the panel, and for the Miniscan 4824, it does not latch the LEDs on alarm. And that was a trait common to a lot of older Ademco panels. And finally, the BRK smoke detector. For this conventional detector, the LED latches on for alarm, and the keypad shows address 11, which is that smoke detector from the RIZ1 module. Besides the alarm, there's also a trouble indication. You can view what the trouble is by pressing display, trouble, and it displays all the troubles on the system. This code AB indicates that signals are silenced. A lot of panels consider signal silence a trouble. We can press end to go back to the normal display. You can do the same thing for alarms. Display alarm, and then it shows all the addresses that are in alarm. Pretty much every device on this system. The detector should be aired out now, so we can just reset the system. Resets pretty much instantly. The system is back to normal. So this Miniscan 4824 is in pieces, although it is pretty much complete. The only thing that's missing is the cabinet and some optional cards on the board here. Right here is the panel's power supply, and there's a ribbon cable that connects it back to the main board right here. There's also 2 terminal blocks, one on the right here. This is the auxiliary block, and the main block's down here, which plugs into the board. There's also several different components that are plugged into the aux board and other places on the main board. Besides the main board, there are some plug-in modules that could be installed at the top here. This empty slot here is for a FDC UL communicator. This provides a dialer to the system, and this dialer is fully programmable from the panel's keypad. Next are slots 2 and 3, both of which can hold one of 2 cards. The IZ424 initiating zone card, which provides conventional zones, or the DCID card, which provides an SLC loop. Next is the RR12 reversing relay module. This provides a reverse polarity circuit. Next is the ATR alarm trouble relay module. It provides 1 trouble relay and 2 alarm relays. They're all Form C dry contact relays. And lastly, the ABM24 auxiliary bell module, which provides an extra signal circuit to the system. Most terminals on both blocks are dependent on what cards are installed on the system, although some are always going to be the same. It's like some of these on the main board. You have your battery backup, main signal circuit. This terminal block here is for RDA remote enunciators. So you have a pair of wires for power, another for communications, and then a safety ground. In this terminal block, you have 4-wire smoke detector power, pretty much resettable aux power, and the rest of these 8 terminals depend on what card is installed in slot 2. This slot is empty, so these terminals have no function. On the aux terminal block, these bottom 8 terminals depend on what card is installed in slot 3, which for this system is the DCID polling loop module. And for this module, only these 2 terminals are used to connect the adjustable devices to the system. This is followed by the reverse polarity output, the alarm and trouble relays, and finally the aux bell circuit. Here is the panel's main keypad, also referred to as the main console. It has a numeric display at the top, various LED indicators, operator controls, and a numeric keypad. The Ademco Vector 3000 uses a similar keypad, which is a slightly different layout. So there's several different LEDs down here. You get supervisory for any supervisory conditions, trouble, disabled for any disabled points, program mode for programming, test mode for either bell test, battery test, or walk test, and then display mode. Display mode can be used to display alarms or any other events on the system. As shown in the demonstration, display trouble will display all troubles, display alarm displays all alarms, and so forth. It can also be used to trigger other functions, including the scan and step functions, or the LED test. Just like that. And to exit display mode, just press End. Pressing display followed by zone disable can allow disabling of points on the system or to access additional functions. For instance, display zone disable 9.1 displays the alarm history on the system. And there's a couple other functions too, including supervisory and trouble logs, as well as entering walk test or initiating a battery test. To enter programming mode on this panel, you press display zone disable 1.0, and that enters programming mode. The programming interface on the Miniscan 4824 is very similar to that of Ademco Firebird panels. There's fields, and each of these fields accepts a certain number of values that can be used to configure the system. For the Miniscan 4824, program mode can be used to configure alarm groups, alarm event types, adjustable devices, and program the dialer if it's installed on the panel. For adjustable devices, they are stored across several fields within the panel's program. For instance, if we access field 11, you can program the first 8 addresses of the adjustable loop, addresses 9 through 16. From here, we can set whether they are installed or not. 0 means it's not installed, and numbers 1 through 7 are the alarm group. So on this system, it's all 1s for the 3 devices, and then the rest are all 0 as they are not installed. Those 3 beeps mean the field has been programmed, and then the display shows the next address to program. If we want to recall what we just programmed, we can press zone disable and enter the address. So there, the panel showed all the values that were entered in for address 11. Entering display 9.0 clears the panel's entire program. And there are 2 ways to exit program mode, with lockout or without lockout. What the lockout option does is, if enabled, it prevents access to program mode within 30 seconds of the panel powering up. There is no passcode protections or anything else like that to enter program mode on this panel. So to exit with lockout, you press display 9.8, or to exit without lockout, you just hit display 9.9. And once exiting, the panel resets, and the programming changes will apply. And that's it for the Miniscan 4824. These panels will be discontinued by the early 1990s. Hopefully, the next time this panel is filmed, it will be in a cabinet, and preferably a notifier one, although regardless of the brand, these panels are very rare nowadays. In any case, if you have any questions or comments on the Miniscan 4824, feel free to post them below. But until next time, have a nice day.